Hello, welcome to my stamp studio. It is our online farmers market week 3. Woohoo! Can you believe we're into our 3rd week already? Oh, it's gone so fast. I hope you've been enjoying the project so far. I'm just getting to my page so I can see all who's joining us. I do have some exciting things to share with you. I hope you've seen our posts because, oh my gosh, Stampin' Up! Like totally fell right into my farmer's market and came up with this great new offer that they're doing for the next couple weeks, all through September. And it's all during my farmer's market. How exciting. Super stoked about it. Okay, they came up with it all on their own. It had nothing to do with me, but you know, hey, I can go with that. That was about me, right? Okay, why can't I expand this? Okay, having issues with my... Sorry, I had to concentrate for a moment. I was having issues getting that up on my iPod so I could see everyone joining. Hi, hi Beth. I think also I saw Amy pop in for a second. I don't know where she went. So welcome. Just need to get a sip of water here, and then I'm going to share with you all the fun events. Lots of things coming up. Oh boy, I didn't really put my water full in there. All right, well, Cooper's here joining us again, playing with every pillow and dog bed and everything he can find at my feet. Hi, Cooper. Are you going to say hi? You going to speak? Speak. That was Cooper saying hi. Okay, good boy. All right, let me just put my little ducks in a row here because I've got super exciting news. Okay, that's there. All right. I'm going to flip down my camera here. What else want to tell you about? Did you ever have one of those days where it felt like Friday all day? Today was such a Friday. I really am bummed that it's not. I feel like I should be up all night crafting. My creativity mojo has just kicked into high gear and I still have to work tomorrow. That's kind of a bummer. But because I don't consider this work. This is fun. Although there are times where it is actually a lot of work. Writing up the tutorials, doing the marketing is a lot of work, but I enjoy doing it and I love knowing that you're out there watching. And I'm super excited. We have some new followers. We have some new people subscribing to YouTube. So yay. Please make sure if you haven't gone out to my YouTube channel, please go out and do that and subscribe. That really helps me. When I get up to 100 subscribers, I can start doing some more fun things. And when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I can actually do lives just like I do with my Facebook here. So super excited about it. Share it with your friends. Share my videos with your friends and your family. Anyone that you know who's crafty, teachers, just want anyone out there. A lot of people are crafty. They just don't know it yet. So I'm going to flip down my camera. I'm going to go to my desktop here. Close your eyes if you get dizzy. And let's get my camera rotated because we all don't want to check out my pretty ceiling fan, although it is a nice ceiling fan. And speaking of ceiling fans, I think I'm going to have to turn it on because it's a bit warm in the studio here today. I love it that it's, September 1st and it was like 85. Woo! Love it. I'm not ready for winter by any means at all. I know a lot of people out there love it, but I'm just not quite ready for it. So, okay, so welcome to Online Farmers Market Week 3. It is September 1st, 2022. The host code for this week is going to be the same as it was last week. And this is my online store link. I will have the same photo here or my same picture right here on my Facebook page so that you can see it. Okay. Otherwise, you can go to my StampinUp.com, search for demonstrators, search for Beth Maxwell, and you can find that. I think I enjoy it right now so much because I don't have hot flashes all the time, just on occasion. I'm thinking if I had hot flashes like every day, I would not be enjoying summer. Your first cards were overwhelming to design. Well, I'm going to try and make things easy. Although tonight is not about easy cards. That's usually my hump day lunch break lives. I try to make some cards pretty easy, and I also try to make them quick and easy projects that you can make and reproduce using the supplies we have at home. Now, for farmers market, the whole goal of this is to actually show you different kinds of projects that you can make and sell for a farmer's market or a craft fair, or that you can use as a gift to yourself or to somebody else. And the other thing is, make sure you are on my email subscription list, because all the information I'm doing here and I'm going to give here tonight is all in my emails. That's the best way to find out information about what's going on. You're going to get the free project sheets for today's videos, video, I should say. The project sheet will be emailed to those email subscribers. That is the perk of being one of my subscribers. Now, normally I do put project links up on, on my webpage and things like that. But for just my email subscribers, I wanted to do something special for my farmers market. Okay, so I didn't have to come up with any great new things to sell this week, because Stampin' Up! Already did that for me. I just love that they tuned into the fact that I'm doing online farmers market this week. But every week in September, from now until September 28th, they are having a weekly special. So the special runs from Thursday morning to Wednesday night. So it'll run from September 1st through September 7th. I'm going to zoom back out just a little bit here. Okay. Now, my email subscribers, you already got this in my email. I will try to put a post. I believe the post is up on my webpage as well. So if you go to mystampstudio.com, go to specials and promotions. I think I posted it out there already. But what the deal is, they're giving us some specials. So there are 6 different specials that they're offering this week. So you get a discount on some of the items. Now, if you're a demonstrator, you get your additional 20 or 25% off these sale prices as well. Perk of being a demonstrator. Okay, so you've got the Splendid Day Designer Series paper, the craft note cards and envelopes. I'm actually going to be doing a couple things with this next week on Hump Day Lunch Break Live. Maybe I'll post a couple things over the weekend. We'll see. We'll see how busy my weekend gets. The brushed butterfly accents. Oh my gosh, you can't pass those up. They're too cute. In fact, while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to grab mine out, because we're going to throw these on one of the projects tonight. I just need to grab them. I didn't think about it earlier, but I just thought, oh, it's going to be perfect on that project. I can't wait to show you. Okay, so I have my little partial pack here. That'll be enough. All right, then there's the classic matte dots. You get white, vanilla, smoky slate, and basic black. The Summer Shadows dies, the brushed metallic back adhesive. Love these things. I use these a lot. And if I had it handy to show you, I would. But I have been packaging up my kits and my classes so I can show those in some videos, and I packaged it away. So can't show you those. Craft gift boxes. That I have handy, I think. Yep, right here. They're actually pretty large. Oops. So, comes in a pack of 10. Normally it is $6 for this pack, but right now it's $4.80. Okay, so let's see. 5x7 piece of paper. What do I have? 5x7, or 5.5 by 8.5. So just shy of that. So they'll fit your cards in there, right in there, just fine. So this is the standard size of a card. Let me just grab one. Oops, I can't grab that one yet. That one's a secret. Okay. So here's the side of the card, and here is the score marks for that box. Really super easy to put together. They have adhesive right there. So fun. All right. Then they have the round and square brads. These are white and black. Now, I know you can't see it in this picture, but the linen paper, this is actually going to be part of our October class to go. And in fact, I think that class to go may end up as an in-person class as well. I just haven't figured out the logistics of it, but got some more information on the cottage wreath bundle, or the gingham, I should say the gingham cottage bundle. Pale Papaya Open Weave Ribbon, and then the Snowfall Accents. Great for your Christmas cards. So that is on sale for $3.60. Normally it's $4.50. So if you place an order in my online store, please use this host code. That helps me out greatly so I can give away great things, and then I can also bring you new projects. Hi, Becky. Okay. Upcoming events. World Card Making Day is October 1st. And Stampin' Up! Has a brand new bundle that's available for purchase. If you purchase one of these 3 bundles, you're going to get a package of iridescent pearls. And also, this free event is an online event. It's a virtual event. It's about 2 or 3 hours long, and they are going to show you projects made with each of these bundles. And they've given us a little bit of a list here on what inks they're going to use and all the supplies they're going to use, so you can make these along with, or you can have it ready to go and make them after the event. So really fun. I am going to be doing, like I said, the cottage wreaths. I am going to be doing a class to go. And again, I think I may just make that a in-person event as well. Yeah, so I actually have these 2. So those are the 2 I'm going to be featuring quite a bit. So yeah, more to come with those. All right, let's get to project time here. So let's see, we're going to do, which one do I want to do first? We're going to make our dry erase board. Oh, I forgot my Velcro. Hold on. I knew there was one thing I forgot. So these dry erase boards are great for a teacher, for, oh, where did I put them? Well, we may just use a glue dot for now. I don't remember where I put them. Yeah. I'll have to look for them later. I don't know where I put my little Velcro dots. Great for a teacher's gift. Great for your own desk. Just really fun. It's a picture frame, stands up like that, and then your dry erase marker, wherever I put mine, will go right here. Now I had everything all set, so it was right here for me today, and Lord knows what I did with that dry erase marker. Well, we'll get there. So I just got these at, I don't know, the dollar store. So I'm going to take this, and for today I'm going to put a glue dot right there, and I'll have that right on there. So I'm going to show you how to make that. This is just a 5x7 frame. You can get them at the dollar store. I found this one was just a little, I don't know, it wasn't really sturdy. So I ended up actually at Walmart, and I found a little bit nicer one. So we're going to make this one. It's still a 5x7, so that's the size that we'll need. So let's go ahead and we're going to open this up. Now, it's going to depend on really what size your picture frame is and your opening is on what your dimensions of things are going to be. But I'm just going to show you how quick and easy this will actually go together. The longest part of doing this is going to be coloring with blends. So let's go ahead and just pop out the back of our frame. Okay. And we've got a nice little mat already in there for us. Well, I lied. This must have been another dollar store one. Okay, that's coming up, so we need some adhesive. We're going to glue that down. I grabbed a number of frames, so I must have just grabbed the wrong bag. All right, we'll go ahead and put that right here. And we'll let that dry. All right. So I'm going to keep this piece. I'm going to use it as a backing. So I'll put it in the back of my project, but for right now, I don't need that. I can put this aside, and let's get started on our things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, I actually have a 12x12 piece of designer series paper that I've already cut down a little bit. This is the gingham cottage paper. Now I've used this the other day. But there's 48 sheets in here. It is $30, but it is a great deal. There's a ton of stuff in here. Now, the cottage wreath class that I'm doing, you're going to be getting a big chunk of this. Just saying. All right, so I'm going to cut a piece down to be 5 inches wide by 7 inches long. So let's get my trimmer. We'll cut this down to 7 inches here. I know that my piece is 12 inches, so I can cut it down actually at 5. All right, so now I have my 5x7 piece. You can use plain colored cardstock. it doesn't matter. I like the Designer Series paper because it added just a little something extra on the back. I have a piece of basic white, measures 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And now I'm going to pull in a piece of thick white because that is what I'm going to do my stamping on here. I like to use the thick white a lot of times when I'm using blends because, I don't know, it just seems to absorb the color better. And it just, I don't know, it just, I guess, for lack of a better word, blends together better. All right. And, oops, that's not the, okay, I'm gonna wing it here because I don't know where my directions went. Okay, I do need a piece of Granny Apple Green. So when I'm doing these, I actually will stamp a whole bunch at one time, and then I'll do my coloring, and then I'll do my die cutting. So I do it in steps, so it's not overwhelming all at one time. So I just, you know, I do it over the course of a few days, and that way I can enjoy some, you know, family time. If we're watching a movie, I can be doing stuff while I'm watching a movie. Unless my husband decides, ooh, we should turn the lights down so we could see it like in a movie theater. Well, then it's a little harder to do my coloring. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Of course, you know, I just wait till he falls asleep. Then I turn the light on and get going. All right, so I just needed that to cut out some leaves and things. Let's go ahead and we're going to bring in, move that project out of my way, our cheerful basket. This is our September class to go. The flyer will be out tomorrow, and sign up for this class will be until September 15th. This is not eligible for any, when you get a class to go, it's not eligible for any other specials that I have going on. So, just so you're aware. I'm digging in my little box here because I need my memento pad. And I need a piece of, well, I've got all my blends here. So let me just kind of, and I need my little punch. All right. So, as you can see, I've got a stack of my blends here to be using today. And put my other stamps in there so they don't fall all over. Okay. We'll get to stamping here in just a second. The other thing I'm going to bring in is my Alpha Best. Oh, I just dumped my garbage can. Oh, no. It went all over the floor. I have a nice little garbage pail that I keep on. It's a little paint can I keep on my desk so I can throw little pieces in there. Yep, the whole thing just spilled, and it was pretty full. Okay, anyways, we're using the Alpha Best stamp set along with the coordinating little tag punch. It is so sweet. That is how I made my little notes here. And the other thing I need that I don't see handy is my black twine. So let me lean over here and grab some black here. Here we go. So this is our Baker's Essential Twine. Great thing to have handy. It's a great product to use. There's a lot that comes in here. There is 35 yards in total. So I don't remember how much is on each roll. It's in the catalog though. So I'm using that. All right, and I want a scrap piece of white here to do all my little labels. I guess we'll just use this piece right here. Nope, I'm trying to find a little smaller piece, but all right, we'll just use this one. Okay. So first things first, let's go ahead and stamp our apples. So let's peel that off. We're going to be stamping our apples here. I'm also going to be stamping in my early espresso on a piece of crumb cake, and we're going to stamp our little basket here. So this adorable little basket, it is so cute. Okay, let's see. Crumb cake. How do I spell crumb cake? That is, by doing that, it's one less thing to color. So I'm stamping on a piece of colored cardstock. It's a less things to cut out, right? Well, less things to color. So let's stamp this first. We'll take our basket right on here. And I do have my little piercing mat so that I can get some nice even cushioning underneath my stamp. So I'm going to turn it this way because I can actually then, if I'm doing one, I might as well do two, right? Again, normally what I'll do is I will take a 5.5 by 8.5 sheet of paper. I will stamp that full of the images that I need, and then I'll do all my die cutting on it. So I don't even really have to color this. The only thing that I'm going to do for coloring on this one is I'm going to take my soft suede here, and I'm going to color my handles. Just like that. Really all I need to do, you know, for grins and giggles, let's just see how this is going to look if I color in this too. So I'm just going to do the one side in darker. We'll see if we like the colored or if we want to just go with this. So here, I don't want to get too close to this side because I've got the handle right there. All right. But now we'll come back in. Oh, that was our light. Oopsie. All right. We're going back with this one because now if I do my dark, it's going to be really dark. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do it. We'll just do the whole thing in one color here. When we get to assembling, we'll determine which one we want to use. But again, you know what? You can make all of them just a little bit unique. Then the people are shopping with you are like, oh, how cool. It's a one of a kind. And really, all of these are going to be one of a kind because, you know, you can't make them exact each and every time. If you did, you would be Hallmark and not an individual. Just saying. Okay. I kind of think I'm going to go with that, but that does look cute. All right, so now let's bring in this. We're going to stamp our apples here in black memento. And, you know, I don't know. You know, and he won't go to a movie theater. No, no, no. We have to sit at home and watch movies in the dark. What the heck? All right. So again, I'm just going to stamp a couple of them right away because I know I actually have some extra frames. I almost flipped that on my cardstock. All right, let's get that cleaned off. So now, what I would do also to remind me to show you when we're done with this one, how I would package this one up. I did say I was going to show you some of my packaging techniques. And I think on the last week, I will show you how I display all the different things that I have for sale. So I'm going to grab my real red, let's see, my real red light and my real red dark. And I'm going to grab one of my granny apple greens. So I'm just going to, oopsie, I want to use my chisel end here to color my leaves. And these actually go pretty fast. Try not to be real sloppy, but it happens. It happens when I'm in a hurry. Now, if you didn't have the blends, you could use markers. You could always use your watercolor pencils. And if you didn't have either of those and you just have a regular blender pen, you can use your stamp pads. I love this stamp set because, you know, it is fall and everyone's looking at the farmer market things, looking for fall themed things. So I guess everyone's kind of done with summer except me. Okay, this is my light here, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and color all my apples in. Now I'm going to go down to the bottom of my cardstock here. That's why I pulled in that extra sheet. But that's not really going to show. But that way I know that I'm colored down as far as I need to be. All right. I'm going to come back in and add some of the dark real red. And then on the other one, I'm going to show you a different way to color it. So this one I'm taking all the light first. And then I'll come back in with my dark here, and I'll just add right in the areas that it has that black marking. Kind of the artist kind of gave me those shadows. That's where I'm going to put my dark. And then I'm going to come back in and just blend my dark into my light. I'm not going all the way. I just want to blend it a little bit so it doesn't look so pronounced. Okay. Now, on this other one, let's see. All right, so this other one, this is my dark. This time I'm going to, oh, my voice just cracked like a little teenager. I'm going to color in the areas just opposite of what I did before. So where those little patterns are, the little dark marks are, I'm going to color that with my light. I'm just trying to make this fast. That is one nice thing about these blends. They go so nice and smooth. It's pretty easy to color fast. All right. So now I'll come back with the light, and I'm just going to color in everywhere else. Except for my leaves. I don't want to color my leaves like I just did. All right, so now when this dries, it'll blend together just a little bit more. All right, so those are our 2 pieces of apple. The next thing I want to do, I'm just going to cut this strip off so it's easier when I run this through the die cut machine to have a whole bunch on there at one time. I'm going to bring back in my little strips here, and I'm going to, actually, there's 2 ways to do this. So I could punch out all of my little shapes first, or if I really wanted, I could actually put notes across here and then stamp it right on my piece of cardstock. So that way I didn't have to try and stamp in those small little areas. So that's what I'm going to do here. So the easiest way that I know to do this is to grab a piece of grid paper or something that has lines on it. It doesn't necessarily have to be grid paper. There we go. All right. And I'm just line up my bottom right along here. And now, actually I can move that up. What I want to do is line my block up here so I can see through and I can see one of the lines. So let me zoom in just for a few moments, and then we're going to start putting our letters. So what I'm doing is I'm going to move this up just a little bit. I'm using that line to help me get a straight line for my letters. Now this can waste a little bit of cardstock, but you know what? This is a scrap piece anyways that I'd probably just throw away, so I'm not too worried about it. I want to make sure that I'm spacing them far enough apart so I can punch them out and just make sure that they're straight. And then I need my E. And I probably should have started over a little further. And then my S. So if I wanted to just stamp this on a strip, I could. I don't necessarily have to punch them out, but I've got the punch. That's why I got the punch. All right. So let's just see how this looks. I'm going to stamp this in real red. As soon as I get all my blends out of the way of my stamp pad. And I'm moving it all around my stamp pad because, like I explained the other day, I've got a big bald spot in the middle there. I don't know what happened, but I do. All right, so I'm just going to stamp that just like that. Now, if my letters are not perfectly straight, it's not a big deal because I can turn my punch. So So I'm just going to go ahead and punch these out. I can probably get to like 2 of them, and then I have to trim it down a little bit. If I would have thought about it, I would have punched it in the correct direction, like that. I mean, stamped it in the correct direction, but I didn't think about it. And I keep going to throw things away in my little garbage there, and it's not there. Okay, we're done with that. Move that out of the way. Move this out of the way. Let's go ahead and get to die cutting here. Oh, let me put these away, because in the studio we have this little gremlin that comes when I am not looking, grabs my stamp right off my block and makes it disappear, and I never ever see it again. I caught him this time though. It appeared. I found my block and my little hello. I will post a picture of where I found it, and I'll do that this weekend. So yes, one of the mysteries in the My Stamp Studio has been solved. And no, the gremlin is not Cooper. Oh, okay. I'm just reading some of the comments here. Okay, I need to get going here because our focus is getting these projects done. Oh, my focus is. You guys keep chatting away. All right. So, because I was able to, I got the magnetic plate, and I'm going to use that to help me with my, help me with my die cutting here. Because I got a lot to die cut. They're small pieces. I want to make sure that I don't lose them. And instead of losing those, I put my dies here somewhere. Now, how in the world? Ooh, I almost lost that too. Holy cow. That would have been a hot mess to have to pick up. All right, where did my dies go? Right where they belong, right in their little home. All right, so let's push this through. And we're going to put this on. I'm going to put this on. And I'm going to put... Okay, I'm doing this upside down, so it's a little more challenging here to see if I'm getting everything to fit. I'll zoom back out. And in this really awesome die set, we have ways to make a basket. There's these little leaves, so I'm going to do some of these leaves here. And then we have individual apples. There's this little butterfly. There's the little leaves for the apples. I'm not going to do that one today. I need my basket die here, and I need my apples. So here's my apples, and that should be good. Now let's get those all on these pieces here, and again, hoping I'm getting these layered. My camera is like right here, and that's where I need to like look through. I'm gonna turn this way. Now this magnetic plate helps me to keep this lined up. So let's see how well we have it lined up. And while I'm here, I'm going to cut a couple more because I know I'm going to need this on another project. Now, all the projects aren't with this set tonight, but 2 of the 3 are. And all of these projects that I'm showing you now are different than the ones that are in my class to go. My class to go is normally 4 or 5 cards and a 3D project. And it is this time as well. I think we're doing 4 cards and a gift box. Not like a box to put something in and give, but actually a little box that's a little holder that can hold things for you. All right, so let's grab out our little magnet here. All right, we'll grab out our pieces here. Oops, that's not a piece, that's a scrap. All right. Yep, and sorry that magnetic plate is no longer available. But I have it, and when I'm doing a large number of craft projects, that's what I go to. I believe there are some other companies that have some online that are available. I don't remember where I saw it. I saw it online somewhere. I think if you go to Amazon or even search it, you might find one. Okay, so now I need my papers here. So I have this and this. Let's go ahead and get our little notes on here. Make sure I have all my little pieces here. Look at this little cat. So I stamped that out of pumpkin pie cardstock instead of coloring it in. So some of these images are really great. Like this one turns out really cute when it's in gray. Oh my gosh, did this one turn out cute. Look at how cute that one is. So if you have a little cat lover, you could put the little cat on there. And then I found I had a little bow left over from my little Scotty's card the other day, so I could put my little cat on here for your cat lover. Right, I'm going to take a piece of this. Oh, I found the end right away. That usually doesn't happen for me. Woohoo! Even on thread. I'm going to take my handy dandy Scotch tape and I want to tape it kind of a little far up. I don't want it to be hanging down too low. So I'm going to put my Scotch tape right here. I'll make sure that this is straight here. Put my Scotch tape right there. Come on. So some of you may know this about me and others may not. I went to school to become a marine biologist, and my ideals and dreams were to actually work with sea turtles. So when I graduated from school, there were no jobs. So I was pretty bummed. And tonight on the news, just a little while before I came on live, I saw that they are once again endangered because of the climate changes. And sea turtles have always been, endangered for like ever. But because of the climate changes, with it being so hot all the time, what's happening is the turtle eggs are all hatching female instead of having males. So they're not having the partners. So sad about that. Okay, I don't know why I told you that, but it just happened to pop into my head as I'm doing this. Okay, so now to adhere these on, I'm going to actually take a mini glue dot and I'm going to put it at the bottom of each tag. The reason being is because if you notice, these are sitting kind of funny, sitting over on top of that twine. So by putting the dimensional on the bottom, it'll make them a little more, they'll look flush. They won't be, they'll still be popped up, but they will look even. And then I'm going to start with my T. And I'm going to actually move this right off of here because I want to make sure that I'm centering this. So I put my first one on. And then get my next one. So however far I space these is how far I'll space the other two when I'm done. So we'll get these here. All right, and if you notice, I'm not being exact. I'm not taking out a ruler, but if you wanted, you could lay a ruler across your paper like so and make sure that they're all even. While sometimes I do that kind of thing, I typically don't. Okay. Because I like crafting. If I start getting that particular about crafting, then I don't enjoy my crafting anymore. So, okay. Next, let's get our You know, we'll try it this way, and you can see which one you like best. I'm going to grab my apples here. So I've got an apple for the top of the barrel and apples for the bottom of the barrel. Just like that. So we're going to go ahead and start adhering these all together. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on. I'm just going to use my seal here. See if I can get it rolling. It doesn't like to roll on my work surface here. I have like a built-in mat on my work surface. Oh, well, actually, this one's kind of finished. That's why I didn't want to roll. So anyways, I have a built-in mat on my work surface, and it, well, it's great for stamping. It sometimes doesn't allow me to roll things really well. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to start by taking a little bit of my liquid glue. I keep grabbing a new one. You like the color basket? Okay, I'm just putting adhesive on the bottom, because this way I can put it, you know what, before I do that, I should actually bring in my frame. So, depending on your frame here, let's see where that's going to land. Oh. All right, so on my frame, what I'm going to end up having to do is I'm going to end up having to put adhesive and then put it on the back of here. Whoops, not that one. The backing that came with this. Okay. Because it looks, I may be able to just layer it right here. Let's see how that's going to look. My other one, I didn't have to worry about that. I don't like how that looks, but I'm stuck with it. All right. Unless I have another frame handy. This one, had I known, had I thought about that frame, I would have probably gone ahead and matted this in a different color. And actually, I still can. Yeah, you know what? I still will. Let's go ahead and just bring in a piece of cardstock. So I'm going to bring in, what do I have here? Real Red or Poppy Parade? Oh, I've got Sweet Sorbet. That will work. All right. So when your opening is bigger than the 5x7 you were planning, go ahead and match your 5x7 block. Uh-oh. Computer, don't do that. No, 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 I don't want to. Hold on, my computer started doing some updates on me that I don't want. I don't like it going to the cloud, and it started going to the cloud. Okay, so I'm just going to measure this piece here. Let's see what this is. All right, so let's just go this way. This is, oh yeah, because that's going to work really well. I'm just going to do this. That's not going to be big enough. All right. Okay, this works. So I need to expand this arm out, and I'm not even measuring it. I am just simply taking that to the edge of that piece of paper, and I'm going to cut right along there, and I am just a hair off, so I'll scoot it over just a tidge. All right. So note to self, don't buy ones that have mats. Although it's going to turn out just fine. All right. And now same thing on this side. There we go. Okay. So now I've got a little mat. Let's find our frame again. There we go. What I'm going to do with this, I'm actually going to bring this here, layer that on, and now I'm just going to make a couple little pencil marks. Actually, let's do it this way. just so I know where I have to have my piece. Okay, so I just made those 4 little dots, and now I know I can just adhere that right here, just so it covers those, so it'll be nice and even. Ugh, forget that piece. I'm just going to put it in just like this. That will work just fine. We're doing that. We're just going to completely ignore the mat that came with it. Not that I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to put it in the back because for this to go back together, it needs to have that little cushion in there. So I'll be putting it in the back. Okay, let's go ahead and just get this one added. We'll go ahead and use some liquid glue just so I can maneuver it around. Because it's in the frame, I'm not going to worry about like getting it right to the edges. I'm not going to worry about the tear and tape kind of thing. As long as it looks straight. But the liquid glue gives me that little bit of wiggle so that I can make sure I have it centered on there. Okay, going back to this. Now, I do want this at the bottom of here. So, regardless of that, I think I may actually have to worry about that. I need to put my apples. We're going to do it on dimensionals. I just decided. And I have to have my barrel down a little bit lower. So every picture frame you get is going to be just a tad different. I'll have a little bit of red showing down there. I'm okay with that. And I want to put this up on dimensionals. So I'm just going to put actually 2 in the middle here. Because now what I want to do is I'm going to come off a little bit like that. All right, and the reason I'm doing that is because I am going to layer my apples right on that. So, all right. So I've got my apples right along there. Just kind of slide it down really good. We'll put another dimensional for good measure right up on the top. And I've got some right down here, so I'm not going to worry about that. Right. We'll slide this right under there. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put it in our frame. Carefully don't cut yourself with the glass. Clean your glass. I'm not going to do that right now, but clean your glass so it's nice and shiny. There's my little mat for the back. Now I can put my backing on here. Make sure I have it going the right direction. Yep. All right. Okay, so now here it is. So now when I go to write on it, sorry, I'm losing my voice again. Grab out the markers. Okay, that gremlin came and just stole that whole package of markers. Okay, here they are. All right, so all right, so now you can make a little personal message, and then you can come back in with just a little and wipe it right off. There we go. And then just, I'm going to use a glue dot right now to put this on with a glue dot. Put it right in the middle here. There we go. And ta-da! So let me show you my original. So it doesn't matter what frames you get. pick up whatever frames you find and go ahead and make that. It's all going to be kind of the same. This one, I changed it up. I had a little layer of another piece of the designer series paper to give it more of a tabletop feel, but because I had that outline, I didn't feel that was necessary for this one. Plus, it gives me a little bit more room to write. All right. Now let's go on to our next thing. I need to pick up some things, and because we're going to need space here. So this next one is going to be a gift box and a card. Oh, I forgot to even put my little, oh, you know what? I need to add something. It needs a little something here, doesn't it? I forgot to add my leaves. So as I was cleaning up my mess here, I just realized my leaves are still sitting on the table. That's not what was supposed to happen. So let's go ahead and move that back out of the way. Get my liquid glue back. And I'm going to start tucking in some leaves. And I don't have to add a whole lot, just some. I'll put one right in here. And again, I am just putting this down with liquid glue. I'm not using dimensionals or anything. I probably would not add any other embellishment here, only for the fact that it's going to be on that glass and you don't want it to like scratch and everything. So I've got white showing here, so I'm going to cover that one up. And I might just put another leaf right along with it. Oh, it's stuck to my finger. Not to the project. Okay, just like that. And grins and giggles, we'll add one back here. You know what? I've got a little smudge right there, so we're going to add it to cover my little smudge. There we go. Okay. I could add a couple over here. Why not? I have them die cut, right? Oh my goodness, can't pick it up. Okay. Save those for another project. Okay. I'm going to actually turn it that way. Put this on here. Put that slid in there. Again, quick and easy projects, not really costly. There we go. That looks so much better just adding that little bit of green in there, right? So instead of using red, we're using green today because everything needs a little green. All right. Let me get this stuff put away so I can get out to our next project. So we're going to be making, I'll just put these over here. We're going to be making a gift box out of 12 by 12 paper, and I need my Seal Plus. So let me just find where my Seal Plus went. There we go. And we'll use that for the third project. Okay, let's move this stuff out of the way. I don't need any of this for right now. We'll need it when we make the card, but this is the box that we're going to be making, and it comes with a card. So the card is right there, so you can pull it right out and open it up. Okay. Now, I'm not using this paper. I'm going to show you using the Gingham Cottage paper. So I've got two pieces here, and I'm going to bring in my scoring tool instead of my trimmer, because that way I don't have to constantly pull that trimmer arm in and out. I can just turn my paper. All right. So we're going to be scoring these both the same way. Let me close this up. And I want to score this on at 3 inches on 3 of the sides and 1 inch on 1 of the sides, on the 4th side. So Our paper here, I'm going to go 3 inches. Now, don't press really hard when you're with your designer series paper because you don't want to tear your paper. You can just run across a couple of times, just don't press hard. So I'm scoring 3 inches there, 3 inches here, and 3 inches here. And then on the fourth side, I want to score it at 1 inch. Sorry, my husband just pulled up the driveway, so my dog is going mental. All right, so we've got 1 inch, 3 inches, 3 inches, and 3 inches. All right, we've got all 4 sides scored now. Now, one of the key things about this is making sure that you are really creasing those folds. So I'm going to go ahead and put my bone folder here. Now, it may not seem like it's going to be a very large container, but it is. It can fit a stamp set in there. Yeah, I mean, height-wise. All right. Now, you know, I noticed that this isn't really noticeable. I think what I want it to be is a little bit more noticeable on top like that. So I think I'm going to grab some different designer paper. That one's just not quite ideal to what I want to do here. So I'm going to pull in, let's see what I have handy. I've got the nature prints, or sun prints, and oh, this will be good. This one is the same one here. Yeah, same one? No, different one. So I just want to find 2 of the same. I will end up using those other pieces for another bag. I just, it's just not easy to see how pretty it's going to look if you don't have different colors. Now, if your bag is directional, just make sure what way your pattern's going. So you want your 1 inch to be on top. So if your pattern goes up and down, make sure the 1 inch score is on the top. All right, this one, it doesn't matter. So let's just go ahead and do our 3 inch. Ooh. 2, 3, and 1. I was just making sure I have my pattern kind of going the same way on here, that's all. Quick and easy way, especially if you are bought a last minute birthday present or a last minute Christmas present and you need to gift wrap it, your 12 by 12 designer series paper will save the day. Just like it saves the day with making cards. You can use designer series paper, slap a sentiment on a punch or a die cut, and there you go, all done. Nice and quick and easy, right? All right. Now I actually want the blue to be on the outside. So this, I'm going to put right up on top. I'm going to fold that side over. Okay. Put back in my other piece here. And these are going to be like little sleeves. They're going to slide into each other. I don't think I snipped them at all. Maybe I did. Okay. All right, so this is going to be one of our boxes. So I do have to come in and just snip at the bottom here. And so I'm just cutting along the score line to the other score line. And do that to the same to this one. Now you could use liquid glue for this one as well, but I'm going to go ahead and... Now there's one I scored kind of goofy. I want that one to be... Okay. I'm going to work with that one first. Alright, so we're going to take our tabs and put those on the inside just like that. So that's half of our box. So we'll go ahead and just put adhesive on these. I do want to make sure that I have enough adhesive that's going to stay sealed. Because you don't want your box to fall apart. Okay, so now I just need to make sure, this is why it's so important to make sure you have good creases. That way when you fold this up, it's much easier to match. So all I'm doing is I'm matching those corners, just like that. Before, oops, it got pressed together before. Oh well, nope, that's not it. So I'm just gently peeling this because I didn't press on it. It shouldn't be too bad. There we go. Okay. I want those corners to meet. So now I'm just going to press that down, just like that. Now we'll bring in our other piece. We're going to do the same thing. Again, when you're using Seal Plus and Designer Series paper, go slow so that it doesn't catch your paper and rip. And I'm just folding this up to match the sides. I don't want to. There we go. That one I didn't score as well, so, well, I scored it, I didn't burnish it as well. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to take one and slide it right on top of the other. And I notice I haven't adhered these down yet. That's because I'm going to tuck them. So get this in here. Oh, okay, just wants to be a little difficult. We're going to tuck it just like that. All right. So then all we have to do really is put adhesive on the bottom. So what I'll do is I'll slide this one up. And I'm just going to take my, and actually I'm going to use liquid glue. It's just going to be easier to slide this in. I've decided. Wherever I put my liquid glue. All right. So I'm just going to put a generous amount of glue in there. Not a lot that's going to soak through my paper, but enough that's going to hold on to those sides. All right. And this one's going to go on the inside. I'm going to put just a little bit on here. A little bit on this side. All right, so I got the two sides in the bottom. I'm going to slide that in. Push it together. And put your hand in there. Oops. In there and smooth it down. Smooth it down. And just put your hand on the inside. Now if you need a little bit more glue, go ahead and just add a little more glue. Probably could have easily run your seal along that side. All right. But for the sake of video, I just want to be able to get this done for you. Okay. So just make sure that it's well adhered. Okay. So this one, just put my glue over here, and I kind of smudged a little bit. Right. Okay. And this side, I got glue on my finger, so I might as well just use it right over here. All right. There we go. Okay. So that is our box. And I'm gonna give it a good press just to get that to work. So I think I'd still do my seal adhesive, but I'm almost running out and I want to be able to have enough to finish the other projects. Okay, so now I just need to clean my hand here, get rid of that liquid glue on my hands, and we'll make a quick card with that. So actually, I'm not going to make the card with you. You're just going to look at the card, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to put it on the front. Okay, so what I'm going to grab now is a clear envelope. And these clear envelopes come 50 in a bag. And I'm just going to grab one of my cards I already have made. Here we go. Oops. They fell out on me. Hold on. Okay. So it's these clear envelopes. And we're just going to put that right on the front of our bag here. So here's my card. Coordinates with that. Then we can use this as a wedding gift. So I'm going to simply take my I'm going to do this. I'm going to look for that seam. So I know it's kind of hard to see. Maybe if I get a piece of paper under here. All right, there's this little seam right here. What I want to do is I want to actually fold this over and take my bone folder here. Make sure it's straight. I'll give that a little rub. All right, so now what we're going to do is actually fold it back this way. I'll do that again. What we're going to do is let this envelope that has a self-adhesive strip right here hold onto the card for us. And I should have probably cleaned my fingers better because I still have glue in them. All right. So we'll go ahead and insert this card. And notice my strip is there. I'm going to peel that off. I'm going to fold it back. I'll rub one more time. And now my seams are right here, so that's going to be the back of my box, and this is going to be my front. There we go. I'm going to just add a little more adhesive here to my envelope. Let's see if my, well, let's just do it on the paper then. I didn't want to work on that clear envelope. So now this will hold in place. Get a good press here. Okay. They're actually very quick and easy to make. So again, you score 3 sides at 3 inches, the top at 1 inch. You do that for 2 pieces of 12 by 12 paper. Make a card, put it on the front with a clear envelope. And then if you're going to be selling these at a craft fair, I would probably stick some tissue in there. And maybe you have something fun to go in there. So let me grab one of the things I had thought about putting in these. Now this is actually going to be another one of the farmer market projects, but I have this little pair of socks, these little nail files, some nail polish, so you could put that in, put some tissue paper, and sell that as just like a little spa kit. You could make birthday presents and put little games inside for kids. You could, you know, put in a cake box for a baker and change it around. So you can make it for so many different themes, but just a quick and easy project for you to do. This one is just a little thank you card. So in this case, what I'd probably do is I'd probably put a box of ice cream cones and some sprinkles in there, and that way they'd have some ice cream fixings. Okay, we'll put that on there. All right. Okay, so on to our last project here. And I have this one totally ready right here. It is a notebook. So my inspiration came from a card that I did a couple weeks ago. I really like the aspen tree dies, and I was trying to figure out a way that I could use this on the front of my notebook. So I found these notebooks at Walmart. So they are, what is it? 5.83 by 8.27. So I don't know, you figure out the size for that one. But it will fit, a 12 by 12 piece of paper will work perfectly for these. In fact, you just trim it down to like 8.25 by 12 and it'll fit perfect. And I liked them because they were 94 cents. So here's what I've done. I've taken my Cottage Grove paper, and you all know how much I love mint macaron, right? Okay, I'm using it. I have a piece of garden green. This garden green is 5.5 by 4.25. I have a piece of mint macaron, and this is 4 by 5.25. I'm sorry, this is 5.5 by 4.25. This is 5.25 by 4. I have a piece of gray granite that's also 5.25 by 4. I've got a just a piece of basic white. We're going to be stamping on here. And then I have got another piece here. This is 1 inch by 4 inches. We're going to be stamping our sentiment on this. And we'll be wrapping our box. Now, for this one, again, tear and tape or the Seal Plus. I like tear and tape for this project, but I know some people like the Seal Plus better. So what I've done is I've cut this down. Now, I'm not going to give you, I mean, this is 8.25 by 12. The challenge with it is it depends on what size notebook you buy. So you're going to have to adjust based on the notebook that you have. All right, so let's get to doing this first, and then we'll get to all the fun stuff. So I'm going to grab my tear and tape. It comes in a nice big roll. So there is, how much is in here? 27 yards of tear and tape. I still haven't gone through all the ones I have. All right, so I am going to simply, the first part is I'm going to do it right in the front. Right along this strip here. Just like that. I'm actually going to use my snips to kind of cut it at an angle. All right. I want to make sure that that's my front. And it's not. That's okay. This is my front. All right. Good thing I found out now. I still need that adhesive back on that side, so it didn't matter. Covering notebooks is probably one of the easiest things to sell at a farmer's market or craft fair, because everyone loves journals. It's just how pretty you decorate it that's going to make the difference. That's what's going to sell it. Right. Because anyone could buy this for 94 cents, right? Okay, so on here, again, I am just going to fold this over. Now, if your notebook is a little bit bigger than, this is just shy of 6 inches here. If your notebook is actually 6 inches wide, what you may need to do is cut this paper in half and, you know, have this pattern here, and then take another piece of cardstock as your book binding. So if you had a larger book, cut your paper down to fit the front of your folder, add a piece of solid cardstock as your book binding. This will work fine because it is just big enough. Now, I will put adhesive along here and here. I'm not going to put it on the spine though. So let's get that done. So I just will do it this way. You just want it all the way to the edge there. Right. And yes, it does use quite a bit of tape. If you have the ATG gun, you could use that. I've used that before too. I actually have better success with this sticking better, but use the strongest adhesive that you have. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, and this is done. It's a good thing I know a person that has a lot of adhesive on hand. And as a demonstrator, you always need adhesive, especially if you're doing in-person events. People don't always bring their adhesive, so you end up having to use quite a bit. All right. Okay, making sure where my front is again. There it is. I think maybe what I'll do is I'll line up my back because it's going to be easier for me to see while I'm right here. So we'll peel off these pieces here. So either use your take a pick tool, tip of your scissors, and just peel away your backings. This isn't a hard project, it just is, it's a little slow. At least this part is, because you want to make sure that you have this lined up really well. And by having these notebooks, that's only 94 cents. What's nice about that is, sorry, I just had to concentrate here for it. They're not really costly for you to make. So, I mean, you can keep this under like $3. Okay. Because remember to include your adhesive. All right, so I'm just making sure I have everything lined up there. And I'm going to fold this over. I don't have it lined up here. Why am I not lined up? Sorry, I just need to see what I'm doing. All right. Oop, I just moved it. Darn. Stay put. All right, I'm going to get to my edge first. Make sure I have that lined up. Oh, good grief. It didn't line up. All right, I think I have to stand above my project to do this, because trying to sit back here and do it is not working for me. Should have done that in the first place. Okay. So is anyone out there doing craft fairs, or do you like making projects and giving them as gifts? This is one that you can use all year round. But wait till you see how we're going to decorate the front. It's so stinking cute, I have to say. Now, I'm not going to pull this really tight. And the reason for that is because, oh, come on. I'm going to have to trim some off because I got this stuck. Oh my gosh. I don't know why this is challenging me tonight, but it is. All right. I'm not pulling it super tight because you want the book to be able to open and close. Now, I know my edge is torn, but that's okay because I know I have to trim it off. I knew it was going to be too wide. So, I'm going to take my scissors. We'll go ahead and trim that down. In fact, I'm going to use my large scissors. See if I know where I put them. I don't have a lot of room on my desk, so it's not like I can really lose things. They just weren't in their right home. All right, so I'm going to open this book. Get to the back. And no, it shouldn't have been more, I was making it way more difficult. But again, I was trying to do it sitting down with a camera in front of my face. So, adhere one side, then adhere the other. You can round your corners. Now, if you have a corner rounder, you could round your paper ahead of time. A lot of times when I've done notebooks where I've had to cut my cardstock or cut my designer series paper before I put it on the front and have a, you know, cardstock binding, I have actually used my corner rounders to get my corners. You could also use a sanding tool. I hope that's not my front. All right. A sanding tool to get these edges. All right, so I just need to do this. All right. And I just need a little bit of adhesive over here. Okay. Oh my gosh, you'd think it's the first time I made this. I've made hundreds of these. Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and get our card front done. All right, I'm not going to worry about that. So let's see. Next, I need to get glue cover because I'm getting sticky. And I can't stand that. All right, so now I'm going to bring in my dies. And the dies that I want to use are right. Oh boy, we're right here. First ones I'm going to bring in are my aspen tree dies. And I'm going to pull this in. And I also want to use these two leaves. Okay. So now I have my gray granite here. And I am going to cut the trees out of gray granite, just like that. I'm going to grab a scrap piece of garden green, and I'm going to cut out some leaves of garden green. So let's get that going. Now, I've already actually cut my leaves ahead of time, so I've got those done. But, die cut this one. So again, when I'm making a large number of these, what I will do is I'll decide on my design, how I want my front to look, and then I'll go ahead and do all my die cutting at one time. Then I'll do, you know, maybe putting the designer paper on the notebook itself all at one time. I'll just do it in stages and steps so that way I can get it accomplished. Here we go. I just need my plate here. All right, so when I'm putting this on, what I want to make sure is that I am actually centering that in the middle of that cardstock. So again, that was 5 1/4 by 4. I just want to make sure I have it centered. Then we're going to add a little color to it. All right, so pop all of these little pieces. There we go. We'll put this aside for now. Okay, let's bring in a scrap piece of paper. And I'm going to bring in my blending brush and my gray granite cardstock. My gray granite ink. I'm going to get some ink on here, and I am just going to run some ink over the trees. Just to give it a little bit of depth and dimension. Okay. I am going to go towards the outside as well. I'm not going to do that as dark. I just want to have a little bit of color on there so it doesn't look all mismatched. Oopsie. Careful, you don't want to mess up your die cut image here. All right. Okay. You can always go back and add a little more. So we're going to put this right on top of our mint macaron, just like that. I think I want a little bit more over on this side here. down towards the bottom. Okay. All right, that's going to be good for now. Okay. And let's go ahead and bring in our liquid glue here. Get our corners. Now I am going to go up the trees a little bit. I could have used an adhesive sheet to do this, but here's why I didn't. Because I'm going to have all these little pieces that get popped out, and to me that's kind of a waste of my adhesive sheets. So doing this is just fine with me. All right, just make sure that you're getting enough on there to stick. I'm going to actually bring back in my paper so I don't get it on my table. And I'm using liquid glue because this way it gives me that little bit of wiggle so I can make sure I have it all lined up. Okay. All right. Then we might as well just go ahead and, since we have it handy, we'll grab our Wink of Stella. Oh, that one's not open. Actually, instead of Wink of Stella, I'm going to use my soft suede. Actually, I have gray granite. Why don't I use gray granite? Okay, bone folder, bone folder. All right, so let's just take this and just whack it a couple of times. Okay. And now we're going to put that right on top of our garden green. So actually I'm going to grab my seal back out again. Oh, come on. And I do want to make sure that I'm using enough adhesive because this is going to be opened and closed a lot, the front of this notebook, so I want to make sure that this doesn't fall off. All right, with any of the farmers market projects, I would strongly recommend using a lot of adhesive. Less is not more in the case of 3D projects. Don't be stingy on your adhesive. All right. So this is going to go in the front of our notebook. Just like that. And then we're going to come in with, wait for it. I know you're going to be super excited. I was really excited when I thought of it. I actually saw another demonstrator make a card like this. That's why I was like, oh, I've got to do it. Our kindest gnomes. Yes, we are stamping gnomes tonight. Love this set. It's so damn cute. I just got to say. All right, so we're going to use these two little guys right here. All right. So I'm going to bring in my black Memento ink, and I am using a thick cardstock here. I'll stamp one, and then we'll stamp the other. Now, with these as well, I would probably go ahead and stamp several. Because if I know I have 5 notebooks to make, I may as well stamp enough gnomes right away from the get-go. All right, so I've got my 3 there. I just need to clean my stamp here. You could also use any one of the gnomes, or you could even use that little gnome home. I am not, because I didn't want to cover up that much of the tree, the aspen trees. All right, so in here, go ahead again. 1, 2. I'm not going to be using that many on this one, but now I have extra ready to go for my other couple notebooks I have. All right. That's it for the gnome stamp set. I'll put that away. Let's go ahead and get to coloring at least 2 of these. So I'm going to show you quick on how I colored these. So I actually used mint macaron, gray granite, and I used also whatever this color is, soft succulent. And then for the flesh, use one of the light combos, dark combos, whatever skin tone blend you want to use. I'll do one of each. So I'm going to get this guy started. All right. And then on this one, I'm going to use, this was the S900. This is the S500. I'm going to color him in. And then once we have them colored in, we would die cut them out. I've saved ourselves a step and I already did that. All right, now for his little hat, let's start with his. I went ahead and took in my light gray granite. And I colored this in all with light gray granite first. All right, now I came in with my dark gray granite, and I actually brought in right along the hat here, along the hat here, along the top of his hat right there, just so I can really get some dimension to that. And then I came back in with my light gray granite and just pull the dark into the light. Come into the light. What, Poltergeist? Yeah. Was that the movie? The little girl had to come on the TV. Come into the light. What was her name? It wasn't it Drew Barrymore was the actress when she was a little girl. But what was the name of the little girl in the movie? And I can't remember the name of the movie. Poltergeist, that was the movie. All right, let's see. Let's color his little pants here in light mint. All right, well then we'll do his shirt in the soft succulent. I didn't have a garden green, so that's why I went this way. You probably could use any color really. Okay, so he's done. Now let's go ahead and get this one done. So this one I did a little different. So I colored his shoes here in, that looks to be the dark soft succulent here. We'll just do that one. All right. Then I did his hat in mint, and I just used the dark one. But now I'm going to come back in with gray granite. All right. So I'm going to bring in my light gray granite here and go just like I did, just kind of right along the flap here of his hat. Right in here. Okay. And now I'm going to come back in with my dark mint again and kind of blend this all in. So you can mix your colors. You don't have to stay with the same, you know, light and dark. You can add different colors. All right. So it gave it a little bit more of a woodsy feel. And now let's go ahead and color his little pants in. We'll color them in with the dark gray granite. I'm almost done. And then we'll get our shirt and the light mint again. All right. Now we'll die cut these out. And through the magic of Facebook, I have them done. So here we go. So let's bring back in our notebook. And now, let's just start embellishing the frontier. I'm going to put a couple in here, just like this. And we're going to put our little gnomes, our happy little gnomes, right in the front of our notebook. Just like that. Here, we'll put him just like that. Isn't that cute? All right, so we'll adhere these down. You know what? Because it's notebook, because I don't have to worry about it being sent in the mail or anything, we're going to use lots of dimensionals. All right, and now I got to find where I did with those butterflies trinkets, because I want those on here. I'm sure they're around here somewhere. I'm just going to find them again. I've got ribbon to add. So one of the most costly things when you're doing your craft projects is ribbon. So use it to make it count. All right, we'll get some dimensionals on these little guys. These dear guys, these dumb guys there. I think I need one more on him. Put him up here. And this one, kind of want to tuck behind a little bit. So all I really need to put is dimensionals right on the top and on this side here. The rest of it's going to be supported by those other things. There we go. All right, now I need to make a banner, and I need to get my butterflies. I've got 26 inches of ribbon here, and this is a natural finish ribbon. I'm also pulling in this twine that's in our holiday mini. It is the threaded twine. It has a little bit of silver in it, and that's going to be for our bookmark. So let me go ahead and just grab those butterflies. I want to have those handy. Okay. Let's stamp our sentiment, put our ribbon on, and the sentiment, believe it or not, because I told you all, I'm not ready to get rid of summer. I am bringing in my Sunny Splash stamp set, and I'm going to use Hello Sunshine. Didn't think I'd pull that one out, did ya? All right. So we'll take our garden green. I'm go ahead and ink this up. Stamp it right in the middle of our 1 inch by 4 inch strip. And try that again. Stamp real quick. And now that I've got the hello for that stamp set again, I'm all happy. All right, so now we're going to take our, this is our banners pick-a-punch. So you can have 6 different banners. So there's a 1/2 inch, a 3/4 inch, a 1 inch, and you can get like a point or a little banner. So we're going to make that little banner. I'm just going to slide this in. I like to flip it over so I can make sure my strip is centered in there. Slide this side in. Okay. And I can put, oh, I didn't make a splash. What was I thinking? I didn't want that. That's not going well with my little garden here, my little forest theme going on. All right. Let's just grab another. Well, here, I've got an extra piece right here. All right. Let's just cut this at 4 inches. Trimmer, trimmer, trimmer. Where'd you go? That wasn't a trimmer. There we go. Okay. Let's try this again. I was so excited to be using the stamp set, I grabbed the wrong stamp. Can't believe I did that. I wanted to use Hello Sunshine. I was like, why does that seem like it's not right? Well, that's why it wasn't right. There we go. I'll clean that later. Get this punched, and then we're going to decorate with our ribbon and call it a day. All right, let's get this on the front. Move some of this stuff off so it's not right in the middle of the road here. I'll need these out. Don't need that. Done with those. Don't need that. All right. Sorry, I just had to get this a little cleaned up here so we could bring all 3 projects out. Okay, so here is our... Now, this is our 26-inch pieces of ribbon here. So you can make this a little shorter. I'm going to wait to put this on to see where my ribbon's going to fall. If you wanted to make it a knot instead of a bow, you could use a smaller piece of ribbon. Well, I didn't have that quite even here. Let's see. That looks about right. I don't push really hard. I tend to tap and then I hold it for a moment. If it's a large stamp, I'll kind of like just rub on it, like rub that way. So it's not really pushing, I'm more, you know, rubbing it that way. I don't want to rock the stamp because I don't want to get my edges. But if you press too hard when it's in the ink, you get all that hot mess on your stamp. All right, okay. So there's my ribbon. I can just maneuver this just by sliding it. If I wanted to fray the ends, I could. I'm going to leave them that way because I kind of like that with that little frayed look. This bow could be smaller. Okay. No. All right. It's going to be the size it is. And I could actually tuck it under my leaf. There we go. If I really want, I would just lift my leaf up, tuck it under, and now it's going to hold in place. I can put a little glue dot down here to keep this in place. I would suggest that, unless you don't mind your bow moving all over the place, but as it does, it can end up tearing off some of your artwork there. So I'm just going to grab my snips, and I'm just going to put that right underneath my bow and push down. There we go. Let's put our little Hello Sunshine. I could even tuck that right there. Let's see. Kind of like it right there. So I'm just going to put some adhesive right on there. I'm not going to pop that up. Tuck that under just so I can see it around my bow. Now let's grab our little brass butterflies, and these are on sale again, so it's Stampin' Up's weekly deal. So go online and get yourself some brass butterflies. Okay, and I am going to just put a whole bunch around here. Let's put one over here. Let's put a small one right there. And let's put one right over here. It's the last of my butterflies, so I might as well just use them. Yeah, okay, I think that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I've got 6. It's uneven. I've got to have one more on there. I think we'll just put it right on his hat. Okay. All right. So now we're going to be using this as well. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to just put it in here as a little bookmark. You know, the other day I was just thinking, I'm like, oh, I should make some bookmarks to hand out for something. I'm like, you know, how many people actually really read books anymore? I mean, the younger generation, do they actually read a book, or do they read it on, like, on their computer or on their phones? I just thought about that. So then I just have a little bookmark in there. So now to actually package this one up, and to package my earlier one up, I have some little Ziploc bags, and I like to do this because I don't want people manhandling this when we're at a craft fair. So I'll have one out so they can open it up and check it out. And I'll say all the others are the same on the inside, but this way your purchase is going to be protected. So I just seal it up just like that. Sometimes I'll actually fold this back over, and I'll put a label on the back with My Stamp Studio, and then I'll have my price listed right on the back, just so it's like that. So it's in a nice preserved case. It's not going to get wet. If it gets spilled on, I can wipe it up right away. So when you're paper crafting and you're having your stuff out at a craft fair, you do have to be concerned with little sticky fingers, dirty fingers, food, coffee, whatever. You do have to be concerned with that spilling all over your projects. So protect them when you can. Have your displays out. Don't have, you know, have everything else in a package or something. Have one or two out as a display, and then if something happens, then you just take one of the other ones out. The other, okay, so then this one, I would do the same thing. I would just take my handy dandy little bags. Now I got these on Amazon. These are actually 8 by 10. I had other ones that were 6 by 9, and I found I couldn't get my 6 by 6 paper in it. So I'm hoping this one fits. All right, so this one doesn't fit that. So I would grab my other go-to bag. These are ones that I actually use for classes. So when I put my class kits together, if I'm having 12 by 12 paper, I will put them into these large cello bags like this. Oh, come on. The little back flap here doesn't want to go in. There we go. All right, so I put it in like this. I peel off this adhesive strip on the back and fold it over. Now, people can't open it. They're going to be kind of intimidated. They're not going to rip that open. They're like, oh, it's sealed. I shouldn't open it. So just saying, if you have them sealed, people are not going to open them. If they're open, they're going to have at it. But there you go. There are a couple more projects for your craft fair. And let me get out our little bag here. Our handy dandy little gift bag. So I hope you enjoyed these projects tonight. I'll get these written up. Again, it's going to really depend on the size of the notebooks that you get, the size of the picture frames that you get. This is easy enough to write up. I'll give you all the instructions. So if you're on my email list, you will be getting this as project sheets, and you'll have all the information on all the supplies that I've used. These will be uploaded this weekend. This video will be uploaded this weekend to YouTube. It's a longer video, so I'm really thinking about maybe just making individual ones. We'll see. But, all right, so I'm just going to read some of the last comments there. Oh, okay. Yay, I'm so glad to hear that some people actually still read a book. Oh. Let's see. I'm just looking to see if there's any other questions or anything. All right, well, take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Spend some time with people that you care about and you love, and just enjoy being with them. Take care, and thanks again for joining. Don't forget about the weekly specials. You only have until next Wednesday. So, see you all later. Bye.